Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Print Storage here. Today we're taking a look at the 2024 Subaru Outback Convenience, the entry-level Outback in the ice silver metallic. We don't get a whole bunch of the convenience models in. Very, very well equipped, despite being a quote-unquote entry-level model. That new front end we got with the 23s, that larger grille. Got those metallic gray wings off of either side. We have new forward-facing fog lights, circular LEDs, and then of course the more aggressively styled, smaller, steering responsive LED headlights. We do also have these aggressive faux kind of vents on the side. Adds to a very angular front end on the Outback, very aggressive when you have it side by side with the previous gen or previous non-facelift model. Got lots of cladding around the wheel wells along the bottom of the Outback, and that is to protect against rock chips. That's an area on vehicles that normally gets beat up by rocks. So plastic stops rust. We've got aftermarket gray metallic wheels, Michelin Excise studded. We have our gray painted metallic mirrors along with our integrated turn signals. And this is all part of safety first on Subarus. And we do get the triple cameras, the 3 EyeSight cameras. This new one is a wide angle mono camera, increases the field of visibility for the EyeSight system left to right. Now let's take a look at the side profile. You've got 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance on these Outbacks. It's a ridiculous amount of ground clearance, almost as much as a half-ton pickup. It's that lifted wagon, and I'm gonna put wagon in quotes. Good looking vehicle. And I do really like the way that the silver accentuates the body lines on this. And I understand silver's not everyone's favorite color, but Subaru's ice silver has a little bit of blue to it. It's that ice silver. Gets you away from the flat silver. Up top, integrated roof rails with built-in crossbars. So you have tie downs front and rear. And then these, assuming it's not frozen, you unlock, and you can see that lock. This flips across to the other side flips across and goes in the corresponding hole. So you have crossbars when you need them, and you can hide them away for better aerodynamics and no wind noise when you don't. Look at that rear end on it. Again, lots of cladding along the bottom, and again, that's an area that would typically get beat up. Look at those taillights. Yeah. So at the back here, to open it, we've got these 2 stars. Essentially right under the stars is our little rubber unlock switch. Backup camera with a backup camera washer. I've shown that in lots of other videos. I won't show that on this one because this is going to be picked up shortly by its new owner. In the back, there's a good amount of room. We have the stock tires and stock wheels because people like to change to winter tires here. Grocery bag hooks on either side. Now, this is removable, and you can tuck that actually underneath our false floor here if you wanted to, get rid of those. You can actually stand all 4 sets of, or a full set of 4 tires up and still close the hatch, especially once you take that out. Entry level comes with steels and hubcaps, so these are steel wheels. We do also have, it is kind of hard to see, a 12-volt power point in there, and we do have some nice hard mount physical tie downs. But it is nice to see that you can actually fit a decent amount of stuff in the Outback, especially with that second row folded flat. Let's go into the second row. In the second row, obviously it's taken up by tires right now, but there's good headroom, good leg room. You have 2 USBs out of the center console, USB A and C for charging, a little cubby above that. We've got map back pockets on the backs of both front seats. Good storage. This is textured. This is designed to be a step for when you're loading things that are attached to your crossbars. And the reason I say that is that's kind of dead center of where the crossbars would be. If you stood on the tire sits inside the fender, so you won't get as much of your foot on there. And you're essentially right at the back, so you'd be leaning this way if you're loading something. So it's a safety thing. On the back, soft touch rear door panel, soft touch armrest, a really nice touch even on an entry level. Power window, we've got this gray contrast stitching, along with a little bit of storage and a bottle holder. Now, if you do need child locks, there you go, simple as. You do have to do each door individually though, they're not tied together. Nice solid sounding door when you close it. That is a comment that we do get a lot. Up front, The driver door card looks very, very similar to that of the second row. Soft touch, same contrast stitching. You've just got window locks, all 4 power windows, and your power mirrors. A little bit more storage, a little bit. Same size bottle holder. All of our Outbacks have a power driver seat, including lumbar support. A little bit more bolstering, but it's the same cloth material up front, that light/dark two-tone. It's not quite as different, as polarizing between them as, say, the platinum interior, but it's definitely a mix of light and dark. Adjustable headrests, and very, very comfortable seats. You can easily hop in this and drive for hours and be comfortable, not be a cripple when you get out. The dash is soft. We've got a scroll wheel for the brightness of the gauges here. If you need to reset your trip, it's right behind the turn signals. That's something I get asked about all the time. Now, convenience model is an actual key. No push button start in this. Ignition is exactly where you'd expect the ignition to be. Got those LEDs up there flashing. That's part of the EyeSight safety system. It gives you different lights depending upon what portion of the EyeSight's going off. And again, the EyeSight is these 2 cameras with the 3rd wide angle mono camera. And the 3rd camera, it has given the EyeSight better visibility. And actually, speaking of visibility, it's pretty darn good in this. I mean, obviously everyone's different. It's going to depend how you have your seat adjusted, but I would say that the visibility in this Outback, especially at the back window, is phenomenal. Now, on the steering wheel itself, it is tilt and telescopic. Bottom left, pull, tilt, telescopic. You can adjust it to varying heights, leg lengths, and arm lengths. Left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our audio controls. We've got our volume, the ability to accept phone calls, hang up, issue voice commands. This used to be volume, so I catch myself doing this on test drives, trying to turn the volume down. It's down here now. This changes our small little center display, gives us different information depending on what we want to look at. And I do always get asked, what's that little orange light there? That is a snowflake on the road. That's saying it's at a temperature where it could be slick on the road, so be careful. And that comes out at 3 or 4 degrees Celsius and below. Source switches from AM to FM to Bluetooth to aux for music source. Switches between presets. Headlights. Defaults to auto. Automatically springs back to auto. Fog light controls. If you drive with your headlights and taillights turned on fully, when you shut off the Outback, they'll shut off too. Most people leave it on auto though. Right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise and we've got our lane centering. Now, both of those systems, again, use those 3 cameras. They're looking for pedestrians, cyclists, road lines, other vehicles. You'll notice that there is an image of the Outback there, and there is 4 bars ahead of it. Now, that is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you'll follow at if you catch up while using cruise. So 4 bars all the way down to 1. And I just decrease by pressing down, increase by turning up, and 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour, 150 to 180 feet. Pretty safe distance. I mean, your mileage is going to vary, depends what you're going to be used to and happy with, but if you want to follow closer when you get close to a large center and everyone's on everyone's bumper, you can do that. Lane centering, off, on. Now, the cruise control has to be turned on, but doesn't have to be set to use lane centering. So, gray lines, if the cameras can see the road lines, it'll illuminate white on whichever side it can see, and that will actually give you gentle steering input to help keep you centered in your lane. Great for long drives. I love it for the second half of a day of driving. I don't recommend you use it all day, every day though. Heated wheel, whole heated wheel, except for right here. Heated steering wheel in an entry-level model is pretty phenomenal. Now, we don't get the 11.6-inch touchscreen in the convenience. We get 2 7-inch displays. So top portion, we still have physical buttons here, but this is kind of our home. This apps will be Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wired connection in this, settings, radio, media would be Bluetooth, aux, USB, etc. Hook your phone up to Bluetooth. When you put it in reverse, backup camera also pops up, shows you the top of the bumper there. If I wanted to wash it, I would twist and hold the end of the wiper stalk back towards myself. And as I turn the wheel, those orange lines move, show you where you're going to end up if you keep your wheels turned that way. We do still have a volume knob and a tuning knob, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but I can actually tell who has a seatbelt on or who doesn't, in addition to the dinging I get, but it actually indicates who it is, which is great, seat positionally. Bottom portion, we've got our climate controls, our heated seats, 3 stages for each, the driver and passenger. Fan strength. I can choose where I want my airflow being directed. if I want my heated mirrors and back window on. It's all easily accessible. Temperature is right here, and it goes up and down in 0.5 degree increments. I can also access X mode, which is like 4x4 low in a pickup. Only works up to 40 kilometers an hour. After that, it kicks out. Goes back to regular all-wheel drive because it's very efficient vehicle control. Turn off traction control, hill start assist, auto vehicle hold, the steering responsive headlights. If you don't like those, you can turn them off. You can deactivate the auto start stop, which lots of people aren't used to at the start. You can change it to miles per hour on the digital speedo, which is there, and you're always going to have the digital speedo there if you travel into the States. Below that, we have a little cubby. We have a USB and an aux port. We have our parking brake. Foot has to be on the brake and push down to deactivate it. If your foot's not on the brake, it doesn't shut off. It is an automatic CVT transmission. When I go to manual mode, I can manually select my own gears in the CVT. Now, it's not from here. I'm not shifting this up and down. I have a paddle, little plus sign. That's shift up a gear, little negative sign, down a gear. And you'll notice first gear, second gear. So it's only going to let you go into the gear that it deems appropriate for the speed. So I can't start in sixth gear, but I can downshift to third when I'm going 100 kilometers an hour. It'll help slow me down a bit. Center of the car, we've got cup holders. They're very, very deep. We've got a drink razor donut, whatever you want to call them. You can get these from parts. If you want a second one, they only come with one. But the idea is if you have a small or medium-sized drink, you're not just going to be grabbing it by the lid. You can actually grab it. Makes a big difference, actually. We've got our center console. We've got a rubberized coin/card tray. Underneath here, we have storage with a 12-volt outlet and a place to run cords out of. So if you have like portable nav or something that you need to plug in, that's where you could do that and run it out here without crushing it when the armrest is down. This is also soft touch and has the same contrast stitching. Regular mirror, no auto dimming in the convenience. Up top, we have sunglass storage. We've got map lights, LEDs. We've got card holders on both sun visors, vanity mirror with light, and then this, you can actually slide over. You just pull on it if the sun's directly to your left or right, because the passenger side has the same thing, and keep the sun out of your eyes, because that is very, very annoying. Now, I didn't show you underneath the hood, but let's do that. I'm going to leave it running. Hood release, bottom left here. You have to reach back kind of far. Essentially, if you can see the icon, it does show the trunks up. Just do that. So under the hood here, so I've cracked it, pops up. To open this, face the front of your car, hand into the right-hand side of the Subaru logo, hand in facing down, move from right to left. That is the lever that you push right there. It's got the hood prop on the hood. And this is the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine that powers the majority of the Outbacks. 182 horsepower, good economy, generally more than adequate for most people. We've got brake fluid, we've got oil, we've got washer fluid, we have coolant, we have our dipstick. Pretty much everything in yellow is what the average consumer is going to look at or touch during ownership of their vehicle. Oil filters are up top, and you do have easy access to your air box to change your filter should you need to. Let me give you guys one final walk around of this convenience. There's a ton of value in the convenience Outback. I mean, things like power seat, heated seats, and a heated steering wheel in a quote-unquote base model is pretty phenomenal. It ticks most of the boxes for people, and that's why lots of people want the convenience Outbacks. For watching my quick walkthrough of this 2024 Subaru Outback convenience in the ice silver metallic. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about the vehicle behind me, any of the tech in it, any of the vehicles or tech in our lineup, put them in the comments below. I'm always looking to answer you guys' questions, and if there's something you want to see in a future video, put that as well, and I'll see if I can't make that happen. Again, thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.